Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. I am here in Laughlin, Nevada. Me and my best friend are taking our sons down to some races. We're gonna go have some fun, but we're staying in Laughlin. We've been staying in Laughlin for a long time. If you don't know what it is, if you look in the background over here, the Riverside Casino was built by Don Laughlin, and it was an amazing place, situated right on the Colorado River. I don't even think we can see the river from here. No, you can't. All those casinos line up literally right on the river, like 50 feet from the river. Awesome place for family, but that's not why it's not a commercial for Laughlin. The reason why I wanted to do a video here is because me and my friend have been taking our kids here ever since they were like, it's been forever. We were here before the 2008 Great Recession, and the Great Recession took this city to its knees, absolutely decimated it, and it has been having such a difficult time picking up pace ever since. And now with what's going on in the last couple of years and the shutdowns, it's starting to look like it's getting even worse. Now, the reason why I'm talking to you about this is because I've said that in the beginning of an economic crisis, it starts with the low-hanging fruit, like subscription services, like Netflix, things like that people can shed because inflation's getting too expensive, and they just need to come up with some extra cash because inflation, the cost of bills or everyday living is rising, so they just get rid of that. The second thing I talked about was travel and leisure. Travel and leisure is the second expenditure that people start to shed out. Now we're in a very, very interesting situation because since 1918, we haven't had a situation where people were afraid to go outside and they stayed indoors and they didn't spend money like they would normally, right? So we saw a massive supply chain breakdown last year because everybody wanted to get out, they were ripping those things off their face, and they wanted to get back to normal life. So they caused this congestion, right? People started going to Disneyland and all that kind of stuff. Here we go, 2.0. It's even worse this time because everyone got pushed back in their homes, everything went back on their faces, and they said, we gotta do this all over again. Now the frustration of people getting out, ripping them off their masks off their face, and getting back to normal life is even at a higher pace. So we're going to see an even stronger supply chain crash, in my opinion. This is proven because Disneyland is completely packed. Now, as we sit here right now in Laughlin, every hotel is pretty much booked solid. It's actually completely packed. People are trying to get back to normal, but there's other things behind the scenes. Now, if you could see off here, there's this boat-looking casino. It's called the Colorado Belle. And that casino has been completely shut down. It's in disrepair, but it's shut down now because of what happened from the Great Recession on until everything had to get closed down a couple years ago, and they absolutely could not make it. So they shut their doors. Everywhere we've been the last couple of days, there are shortages from everything from limes to onions to, it's crazy how many things they're short of. The facts are, everywhere we go, even in the hotels, they're not even supplying you a shampoo anymore. They're trying to cut costs everywhere. The amount of employees are so limited. We were trying to get a restaurant, and there's tons of open tables, but they cannot accept you. They say, sorry, you're gonna have to come back in 30 minutes. We just can't take the volume of people because there's simply not enough bussers, waitresses, waiters, and even front end staff, cooks, to be able to take care of all of the people that wanna get in there. So it's a very interesting dilemma. Even though these hotels are packed right now, the hotels themselves cannot make the max amount of money in their restaurants because they simply don't have the employees to do that. So that is lost revenue. Even on a weekend like this, where it's springtime, it's starting to get warm and people want to get out and thrive, the casinos can only make money on the hotels. And even that, we're seeing horrible shortages in the maid staff. You can't get extra towels and all that kind of stuff. Now, first off, I'm not complaining, all right? Because I understand this, and we've been very sympathetic to everyone in the industry here because we know really what's going on. In a day and age where there's still some people that would complain and whine and, what do you mean you don't have room? I've seen that before. There's tables open right now. Well, those guys are complete idiots. Those aren't Ninja Nation people, right? We have to understand that times are tough. And there are still people running around with their head up something because they have no clue that this is really the reality of what's going on. It's very hard to find people. Now, I guess I'll just plug in this city. If you guys ever get a chance to come here with your family and friends, it's very inexpensive to stay here. I literally absolutely love it. But it's sad because I know the hit it took. There's another casino up the road that after 2008 got completely annihilated. And even today, another owner came in, ironically, teacher's pension fund came in to buy up the building and try and rejuvenate it, it's nothing like it used to be. It's still at like probably 1/10 of the capacity it can take. And that's after a pension fund took it over. Think about that when you're looking at your pension. What kind of projects are your pension funds investing in? That's something you really need to be aware of. And in this it's a REIT, essentially a commercial REIT. Now, the other thing that I want to bring up before I go is that it's very important to understand that cities like this, they don't just bounce back. Like I said, the 2008 recession brought it to its knees, and then COVID is completely finishing it off. And what's sad is what most people don't realize is people like myself look at the shortages of food, the shortages of employees, and then the lack of full capacity. And I see this city already dying. I hate to say that because I want to speak life into things, but you have to call a spade and understand that there are going to be towns and cities very similar to Detroit when the auto industry moved out and it had such a hard time recovering. And then the 2008 recession completely wiped it out, where people were lighting their homes on fire just to be able to try and get any bit of money on their insurance. It was absolutely insane. Well, just like that, I see that this city is like the next Detroit. And it's sad to say because it's such a great place to take your family and hang out with your friends. But you have to see that. Now, on the flip side, think about the opportunities out there. There are opportunities in housing where we're going to be able to buy homes and rent them out. There's also massive, massive opportunities where corporations, where they have no emotion, will literally just drop the pen and walk away from these places. And there are going to be places literally as big as casinos that you'll be able to buy for pennies on the dollar. And that is where you need to be in your mind. Think like that. Think more large scale. It's one thing to buy a house or two and have a rental because you've never had a house. It's time to think bigger than that, because the opportunities that are going to come from this next economic collapse, and it is going to be a collapse. This will be the Great Depression all over again, will be immense. And the whole thing is I'm trying to raise up an army that will take over, buy up all these amazing deals, and then be good people with the money and change this world. All right, guys, with that being said, I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.